If you remember, we are going through Newton's first law of motion. We have started this topic in our previous session, where we have discussed about it, and we have seen that it actually describes the behavior of bodies around us which are in a state of rest or in uniform motion, right? So it was not yet completed in that video, and due to some of the you can say some of the problems, there was some discontinuity. So again we are going to start with this, and in fact where we have stopped, we are going to continue from there. So let's have a relook that what actually this Newton's first law of motion states. See, according to Newton's first law of motion, any body, any object which is at rest, it will remain at rest, and any object which is in motion, it will continue to be in motion until and unless some external force is applied on it. Okay, so this you have to understand, and there is one more part of it which I'm going to discuss further. But before that, you have to understand these two parts very clearly. I have discussed in the previous session that these two parts are why necessary, because actually force the to understand force, you have to understand these two parts. Okay, so in the previous session, related to these two, or related to this statement, I have asked a few questions, and I have given some tasks to you, and I wish and hope that you must have gone through those task. So what I have given was this type of question, or you can say that we were doing this experiment where I told you that keep a glass tumbler and put a card on it, and just put a coin in the center of the card, and if you're going to flick the card, what will happen to the coin, and how and why it happened. Okay, what happened and why it happened, that was my question to you. So I didn't get any of the answers till now, but it's okay, I'm going to describe it to you. That when once you are going to flick the card, this flicking of the card is going to do what? Once you are going to flick this card, you're going to do like this. In such a case, what will happen, that the card will move. See, here you can see from the arrow, actually this is the first step, and this is your second step. Okay, so what is done here, we are flicking the card out of here. What is happening in the next step, that the card moves, right? The card moves from here to here, but because of the rest, see, you can see here that this coin is placed on the card, and the card is in rest position, as well as the coin is also in the rest position. But when once the card is flicked upon, it comes into the motion, right? The card gets into the motion, and the coin remains as such in its own original state of rest. And due to that tendency of keeping itself in rest position, the coin goes inside the this tumbler. It goes inside the tumbler, and it gets to the bottom. What is happening here, due to the tendency to oppose the motion it has. See, according to Newton's first law of motion, any object opposes the state of its position. It just opposes the state of its position until and unless some external force is applied. It wants to keep itself in the same position as it is there in the state. For example, here you have seen that this card was flicked upon, card comes into the motion, and this coin, it was resting on the card. It goes, it just opposes this motion. The motion, the effect of motion was opposed by the card, and then what happens, that its tendency to be in rest position makes this coin to get into the glass. So this was your first part of the statement, that inertia of, we call it as inertia of rest. And inertia of rest, what it says, that it is a property of a body to resist is change in state of rest. Okay, so this we have seen in our previous video also, that inertia of a body is a property of a body to resist its change in a state of rest or of uniform motion. So it's a resistance. Okay, it's about inertia which we are talking about. So it's simply a resistance which is applied by the object. It is a resistance which is applied by the object because the object doesn't want to change its state of position. Okay. And the position could be in rest or in motion, right? So here we are talking about inertia of rest. Now let us try to understand about the inertia of motion. Okay, what happens in inertia of motion? You must have seen, you must have gone by the vehicles, or by you must have gone to with buses also, as I have taken the example of bus as well. What happened in that case, that in what happens in such cases, that if your bus is in motion and you are sitting in a bus, in such cases what happens, that if bus is moving, say your bus is moving and you are there in the bus. Okay, now your bus is in motion. In such cases what happens, when your bus stops suddenly, you come forward. Why so? Why it happens that if you are at this position, then your body, I mean your upper part falls upon you. You are sitting, but your body is still in the in a process of moving forward. Why it happens? It's all because of inertia of motion. It's all because of inertia of motion, because your body was you were sitting in the bus, but bus was moving, and so was your body moving along with the bus. But when the bus is stopped over there after some time, what happened, that your body also wanted to be in motion as was the bus, because it wanted to oppose the change of its state of motion, and that is why it moved forward along with the bus, the motion of the bus, the direction of the bus. Okay, क्या होता है कि जब हम बस में बैठते हैं और बस चल रही है, हम बैठे हैं, तो हमारी बस अगर अचानक से रुकती है तो हम आगे की तरफ फॉरवर्ड में हमारा अपर पार्ट ऑफ द बॉडी जो होता है वो फॉरवर्ड आगे की तरफ बेंड करता है. ऐसा क्यों होता है, हम क्यों झुक जाते हैं? क्योंकि हमें मोशन में उस समय में हमारी बॉडी रहती है, और अचानक से बस के रुकने की वजह से हमारी बॉडी स्टिल मोशन को अटेन करे रहना चाहती है. वो अभी भी मोशन को चेंज नहीं करना चाहती है, एंड दैट इज़ वाई वो रेजिस्ट करती है अपने मोशन के पोजीशन को. ठीक है, दैट इज़ वाई इस चीज़ को हम बोलते हैं इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन, जिसमें बॉडी की क्या टेंडेंसी होती है, इट रेजिस्ट टू चेंज द स्टेट ऑफ मोशन. ओके, उस मोशन के जो मोशन में रहती है बॉडी, उसको वो चेंज नहीं करना चाहती है, और इसलिए वो बस के साथ साथ जो मूविंग पोजीशन थी उसकी, उसी को बनाए रखना चाहती है, एंड दिस इज़ नोन एज द इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन. तो ये हमने देखा. इसके अलावा एक और एग्जाम्पल, जो मैंने एक और क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछा था, वो कुछ इस तरह का था कि एक बस में अगर आप चढ़ते हैं और अचानक से बस इफ़ द बस इज़ इन द मूविंग इन अ मोशन, एंड इफ़ यू आर कमिंग आउट ऑफ इट फ्रॉम द रनिंग बस, इफ़ यू आर स्टेपिंग डाउन, व्हाट हैपन्स टू यू? ओके, see what is the question, what is the reason behind that that a person stepping out from a moving bus runs for a while in the direction of the bus? क्यों ऐसा होता है कि जो भी नीचे उतरता है एक रनिंग बस से, he or she has to move or to run along with the bus in the direction of the bus? Why? All because he has to maintain his position of motion, he has to maintain his state of motion. क्यों? क्योंकि बॉडी अगेन इट रेजिस्ट द चेंज इन मोशन. ओके, वो अपने मोशन के जो मोशन है, जिस मोशन में बॉडी मूव कर रही होती है, जो जिस पोजीशन में बॉडी रहती है, उस पोजीशन को वो चेंज नहीं करना चाहती है. और इस वजह से यदि हम डायरेक्टली स्टेप डाउन करते हैं और खड़े होने की कोशिश करेंगे तो वी विल फॉल अपॉन, हम गिर जाते हैं. और दैट इज़ वाई वी आर नॉट सपोज टू कम आउट ऑफ द रनिंग बसेस एज सच. वाई? बिकॉज वी कैन fall down if we come out of it directly on the ground. Okay, so we have to maintain the balance, we have to run we have to run along with the direction of the bus, so that we could not fall down to the ground. But it is not recommended. Why? Because many of times the stepping down brings you to ground, okay, and you get hurt. So we are not going to do such things, and this is what I have explained about Newton's inertia and Newton's first law of motion, where you have got that, where you come to know that Newton has given about Newton has described about the state of motion and state of rest, that a body wants to be, or body always if it is in a state of rest, it is going to be in a rest, and if a body is in state of motion, it will continue to be in motion until and unless some external force is applied on it. Okay, so one more thing is there, you must have seen in this case, as you can see, you must know one more thing. There is something to note upon, and this is that if you have, so what you have to note here is that when any object is in motion, suppose I have given you the example here. When I was in the previous video, I have given you the example of this, that it is going to come in rest position, or if it is moving, definitely it will go on moving, right? So here it is stopped. Now what was the reason behind it? As I told you, it was the friction which has caused it to stop over there. So you have to note that there are two forces which actually act during the motion, and due to which it stops the it acts like external force, right? So you can say that there are two forces. If there is no air resistance, say if there is no air resistance and no friction, okay, no friction to oppose, okay, if there is no air resistance and no friction to oppose the motion, okay, to oppose the motion of any object, then definitely according to the first law of motion, the object is going to continue in motion, okay, going to be in motion itself. Okay, so this type of example you can see, you must have seen in cases when you are suppose in a car, okay, and if you are moving by a car, and you if by with a safer point of view, if you are taking out, you are taking out your hand out of the car, you will see that you are going to have some pressure. You will feel some pressure on your hand. If you are going to take out your hand out of the window of the car, moving car, I am talking about a moving car. If you are taking out your hand out of a moving car, what you are feeling, how do you feel? Actually, you feel some pressure or some force acting on your this hand. Why? What is that force? It is the air resistance which stops your hand to go on in the direction of the moving car. Okay, so it works over there. Okay, and once the car is stopped, definitely your hand is going to move forward. It will have some jerk of moving forward, and what will happen? It will again, why it happened? That because of the motion of the car, but meanwhile at the same time the air resistance works upon it, due to which you can say that the change is a little slower. Okay, that change is little slower. It can you can say that it can affect at that time. Okay, in the same way, if a person is sitting on a roof of a bus, you can observe there also that if a person is there and if he is sitting on the roof of a bus, you will see that if the bus is in direction of if the bus is moving, and the person is sitting over there, and if suddenly the bus stops, in such case also the upper part of the body is going to suffer though it is going to move forward, though it is going to get a jerk, still it is going to suffer some of the air resistance. Okay, I think that a few of the students who have some or other questions, their query could have been explained over here, and if still they have any problem, they can ask over here through the comment box. So till now you have done with inertia of rest and inertia of motion, right? You have gone through these two. Now one more point is there which I would like to bring to your notice is that we have another type, or you can say that a body also resists the change in direction. Okay, also it resists the change in direction of motion. For example, again if I take the example of a bus, if a bus is running on a straight road, okay, in a straight line path, and if you are sitting in the bus, what are you going to what type of change are you going to suffer when the bus takes a turn? Suppose it is running in one single direction, but it has to take a turn, suppose in another direction. Now when the bus is going to take a turn like this, how do you feel? How the body or your body suffers what type of change you feel? That you have to note down. Even there also inertia acts. Now what is the main definition of inertia? Inertia actually is the tendency of resistance, right? Inertia actually it's a tendency of resistance, isn't it? Now if it is tendency of resistance, it means it is going to oppose the motion, oppose the turning, oppose the change in direction as well. So if the bus is running in a straight line and if it takes a turn, definitely your body resists to change this direction. Your body will try to oppose this change, and it will try to be in a straight motion. I mean, it will try to keep itself in straight or in forward motion. It will resist the change of this direction. Okay, that is why you feel a pressure or you feel a force when it takes a turn over here. So we can say that inertia actually can be in three ways. One is the rest and inertia of rest, inertia of, you can say, motion, and this is inertia of direction, where it is again I think these two could be taken into one part, because this is in the both the cases you are having motion only. Okay, so there you go with direction. Okay, this is my perception which I am considering here, right? So this is all about your Newton's first law of motion. So many things we have discussed in the first and this video. I mean, this is the session number 4th one, right? So I hope you are now very much clear with the law of inertia, and also with the Newton's first law of motion, which actually describes the law of inertia, right? And as you know, the inertia gives you the actual definition of the force, right? So we will come up with the next video on Thursday probably, and it will be regarding second law of motion, Newton's second law of motion. And first I have used a word probably because twice I have promised that I'll be regular, and I have seen that due to some or the other circumstances I wasn't regular. So I'm not going to use again the word promise over here and so I hope you are going to cooperate me, and definitely once everything will be settled out, definitely I am going to be regular with the things. So till then, keep watching. Do subscribe the channel if you're new to the channel, and thank you so much.